What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Here we are in my empty one-car garage. If you guys saw the previous video, you know what's up. My channel is so pathetic right now that I don't even have a single car to put in my one-car garage. But hopefully that's going to change here pretty soon, actually. Again, if you guys saw the previous video, you know that I thought at least that the engine had blown on the C63. We have better news, good news actually, and also some bad news. So we're gonna drive out to George Riggin, the guy who's working on my car, and see what's up. Warm start. Okay. Still sounds good when it's warm. All right, we'll get a slight little pull here from the TRX killer. And she just wants to keep on going and going and going. Street Speed 717, he doesn't want this smoke, but you know it. No, but all jokes aside, back to the AMG. So when all this happened, I had it sent to George Riggin, where the car is currently at, and they were booking out till June. So they're being nice enough to try to like squeeze me in when you know, they find the time to do the work on the AMG. And initially, you know, we just thought that the engine had seized up because we couldn't turn it. And George actually recommended, like, let me take the plugs out, we'll put a bore scope down and you know, see if there's something else going on. And since we've been talking about a new engine, I was kind of like, you know, it doesn't seem like we have to do that. And I'm thinking like cost, which was dumb of me, but that's kind of how I was thinking. And then a lot of you guys were commenting saying you should link up with Alex from Legit Street Cars. And I actually know Alex from before, so I did text him. And he's been a huge help, so major shout out to him. And he also told me, like, you should be putting a borescope down there and see what's going on, because it might not be what you think it is. Because I've had this pretty much happen before on an AMG, and he's like an AMG guru. He's worked on tons of them, made a bunch of cool videos and so on. So long story short, that's what we've done. And when we get to the shop here, we'll discuss more of what we actually found. And if it wasn't for Alex being in the Chicago area and I'm in the Pittsburgh area, you know, they're pretty far apart, we could have done a cool collab video. But if what's going on with the car is what I think is going on with the car, it's not going to be that big of a deal, and it wouldn't really be worth it to you know, ship the car that far just to have a pretty simple job done, which obviously does not entail, you know, getting a new motor. All right, so here we are. We're back at Riggin Automotive. We're here with George, and since I was here last time, George, we had a good epiphany in a way, yes, of what was going on with the car. So what did you find?
What we found is number 8 fuel injector stuck open. Stuck open? Yes. And I'm assuming when the engine was shut off, the intake valve was open and it filled the cylinder pretty much full of fuel.
Full of fuel?
Yes. I would say that there was more than a half a cup came out of it when I cranked it over by hand.
Oh, wow.
So we pulled the plugs out. That plug was just dripping with fuel.
Yeah.
And when I turned the engine, it then turned because we were trying to compress a liquid.
Right.
And
so basically, what we're saying here is that the car hydrolocked.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I'm probably, I don't know if you know this, I hydrolocked in 2017.
Yes.
Way back in the day, but that was water involved. This time, you know, it's not technically my fault or anything. It wasn't like a freak of nature accident. But the car hydrolocked again, but this time it was fuel. And I have to be like the only guy in the world who's hydrolocked 2 AMGs.
You might be.
I mean, there might be another one here and there or whatever, but I don't know about it at least. That's completely unbelievable. That's actually good news if we compare it to what we thought we would have to do, which is get a new motor. Now we don't know for 100% certainty if a piston is damaged or anything like that.
It does not appear to be. With a look in the cylinder, the piston looks good.
Yeah,
yeah. Camera.
Yeah.
As close as I could get a measurement, it does not appear that the piston height is any different
okay.
than the piston at the front,
right.
Cylinder 5. So,
but the motor did turn over, so I mean that.
Yes, it turns by hand very well
yeah.
now. Actually cranks.
Yeah.
But as soon as there's any fuel pressure, it's just pouring out of that. Injector, so.
Okay. So like I said, it's actually good news. So what we've done is we're ordering brand new spark plugs, new injectors as well, correct?
We're replacing the one injector.
Yeah, the one injector. And then you're going to do 2 oil changes, right?
Probably so. There's so much fuel in there that it's probably going to take 2 to get all the.
So you do one and then you let it run for like what, 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, we'll probably run it for 10
whatever, however long, and then you do another oil change,
right.
and then everything should be back to okay, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. So huge thanks to George. They're super busy. He's squeezing me in as he can. So I'm not expecting this to be done like in tomorrow or anything like that. But just huge thanks to you for working on my car. I know you're super busy. So hopefully we can have it back here pretty soon. But good news is that we're thinking we do not need a new motor or anything like that. The car was only hydrolocked. Which is actually a good thing because it's everything's fixable. We need to flush it and everything and have it back up and running again. So you can actually see it right there. This is where fuel was just spewing out. It looks all cleaned up and nice. And like I said, George and them, they're super busy. They're squeezing me in here. So we're hoping to have this done in about 10 days, as long as they have the time to get everything done, and I think they will. So I'm very grateful to them that they're being able to squeeze me in here, and I'm so relieved that we don't need a new engine, that it's only hydrolocked. And it's actually kind of funny. I mean, who do you know that's done this to 2 AMGs now? Granted, no water involved this time, it was fuel, but still, I mean, it's actually kind of comical. It's funny. I think it's going to be up and running here soon. And again, huge thanks to Alex, Legit Street Cars, for giving me good advice as well. He's actually had this happen, the exact same thing, and he's made videos about it. So funny coincidence. Yeah, at least we're getting 1 new injector, all new spark plugs, oil change. It should be up and ticking and running in no time. So what I should have thought of, that I didn't think of, at the time that the car was breaking down, when I had pulled into the gas station, it was still idling and all that smoke was coming out of the tailpipes. I should have really tried to smell the smoke, but it was very windy. So, I mean, it was just like blowing away. And, it didn't really smell like oil kind of smoke. It almost looked more like a vapor-ish type smoke, and that's because it was fuel. It wasn't that the engine was completely blown and oil was dripping everywhere or whatever going through the. So if I actually knew anything about cars and engines and stuff, I would have probably thought of that. But since I don't, I didn't. But now we know. So I'm actually pretty excited to have the car up and running here soon again. And that it's not a bigger issue than it is. Man, it's so nice with spring/summer. You can be outside even though it's cloudy out. I don't know why I'm standing inside a freaking empty ass garage with the door closed, but yeah, like I said, this video again pretty short. Wanted to keep it pretty short as an update, a happy update. So the bad news was that once again I managed to hydrolock an AMG, but the good news is that was actually good news, that I managed to only hydrolock it and the engine didn't blow. So more or less the bad news was good news. So before we end the video, we'll switch it over to the F-150 here. You guys know I got this plate specifically because the truck is supercharged, and I do have a friend who has a TRX, and that is my buddy Street Speed 717. So if he sees this video, be triggered, man. I'm coming for you. We need to set that race up and see what happens. I've never raced a TRX in this truck, and Mike's a pretty good driver. all his cars are fast, but I think he's taking an L this time, so let me know when you have time, dude. You're going down. But until that video, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. If you're stopping by for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.